folks, so it's been quite exciting. Everybody was spreading around and trying to find the elusive leopard, and guess what? We found one. And I've just been trying to identify who this particular animal is, and I do believe it's Mvula. I'm not 100% certain. I'm looking at the family tree and the identifying features, but it does look like him. But let's just see as he comes through towards us, and anybody is welcome to say who they think it is. I'm looking at the spot patterns just above the whiskers, and I only saw the one side. He's walking right up the road towards us, and obviously if he comes past us I need to stay dead still. Okay folks, so he might come right past me. And I do believe it is Mvula. Okay, so he's gone right behind us. He's continuing up along the road. I do think it's Mvula. Good stuff, folks. I did think it was. So, and he's still on the road. He's starting to mark. We're all trying to turn around now. I'm going to obviously try and keep out of the way of these other guests as well, because they were here first. But I'll just move through if I don't stall. They need to get out a little bit more. We obviously don't want to lose him. He is on the road, so we're going to follow up behind him. He has been marking, and I think that's what he's going to be doing now for the next little while. And he's continuing up along the road. The other vehicle is just coming out now. So when they come up behind us, I will also allow them space to be able to view Mvula. So that's lovely. That's the first time I've seen. I think it's Mvula, but we'll have another look when we see his face. Okay, folks, that's great. If we have confirmation, I will wait until I can see him properly to confirm for myself, but I'm not arguing with anybody. I'm sure you guys know what you're talking about. I'm just looking at the spot pattern myself.
Thanks, Ralph.
I'll come up behind you.
Good afternoon.
Thanks.
How are you?
Awesome, you too.
Good.
Good. Okay, folks, so we're just going to follow up behind this vehicle with guests in it, and it's very exciting. We've got this animal moving up the road here now. Okay, as I said, if we can get a view past the vehicle, we will. But this Mvula or Tingana, there he is, off to the side of the vehicle there. There we go. So we just going to follow up along with him as he's walking now on his territorial loop. Okay, Philip is saying that those legs are longer and thicker on Mvula, and these are longer and shorter and thinner. Okay, just watching him nicely. That other vehicle has gone off now, so we've got this sighting all to ourselves. Are they spinning around? Okay, so they're going from the front. You see how he's marking? He's probably going to spray now. Yep, there we go. Okay, classic territorial marking of a leopard. So Tingana has got a spot marking of 5'5". Now, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, we're talking just above the whisker line. Those dots or spots just above the whisker line. Tingana Okay, there was a comment about Mvula's ears. Yeah, look. Okay, folks, I'm going on all of your different Okay, Malara is saying that Mvula has very tattered ears. I just want to get in a little bit closer. These ears are quite tatty at the top, and we will just go through the process of elimination. But for the time being, I'm not too worried about which individual this is. I'm worried about what he's doing at the moment, which is his territorial loop, his marking, etc. When he stops, if we get the privilege of seeing him stop, then I'm going to then continue with the real identification. But you guys on your stationary position is more than welcome to carry on with your identification features. Just me behind the wheel here. And let's see, they're not as tatty as I thought initially, so I think you're right. Maybe it is Tingana, but I was obviously looking more so at the spot pattern, which is what I'm going to use to continue. He's going to just be passing that vehicle up front in a minute. And we're going to stick with this guy, whether it's Tingana or Mvula, along his little territorial loop here. This is fantastic. Now it quite well could be Tingana, just for the sole reason being that I know yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, that leopard that was sighted with the wild dogs and that jumped out of the tree when they killed that little baby impala, that was Mvula, if I'm not mistaken, from hearing from the other guys. So if it was Mvula, he would have had to move a very long way. So I'm assuming that this is Tingana now, and just going on that. But I'm going to just see if I can follow him, and then we just keep a lovely sight on him. Once again, folks, I'm also just allowing this other vehicle, but there he is up in front. Okay, we just allow priority for the other vehicle. And they were obviously in the sighting before us, so they also maintain priority. So sorry that we're allowing them to go through, but we will. Okay, and he will also allow us an opportunity to have a good view of this leopard. I'll just move off a little bit on the. See how well habituated these animals are to the vehicles. He is not perturbed in any way whatsoever with these following vehicles. A leopard that is not habituated to vehicles like this, I mean, all he would have needed to do was to hear a vehicle, and they literally disappear. Okay, and he's still moving. Very exciting as well, because if a leopard is on the move like this, okay, he's doing his territorial markings, but there's always that possibility with him moving, we might witness a hunt, or we might witness some interaction with some other predators, and it's nice and cool, perfect for moving. Mary commenting that Mvula doesn't hardly ever mark territory. That's probably a very good statement, Mary, but Mvula, all males will at some other stage mark their territories, but maybe he doesn't do it quite as much, so I'm not disagreeing with you, but even the little male Djuma, He's also been marking his territory, so they might just be a little bit less so than the other guys, but they can't help it, they do need to mark. So he has concentrated on something there. So if we're speaking of this being Tingana, was born around 2006. Very stationary, he's concentrated on something there through the grass, but no, he's just moving off. And we will follow suit shortly. See how he just disappears through the brush there? And the camouflage is absolutely amazing. Still quite heavy breathing because it is still quite warm. Okay, folks, we're going to continue following up about behind this Tingana or Mvula. I'll go with Tingana. I'm not questioning anybody. But in the meantime, I think James has got a reptilian version of what we've been following. Okay, folks, Tingana's just walked up the road here. Now he's just looking off to the right. There are some impala in the thicket. And he's just looking out at the impala, stopped dead on the road. I'm not sure if the impala have spotted him. None of them have started to alarm call. They're starting to move towards them, so he's laying down now. He's focused on them, but he's not totally gone into hunting mode just yet. He's just watching them. Lovely sighting this. Just going to move back for this vehicle in front. Sorry about that, folks. Just needs to have a little bit of space. We can move out. We're obviously in a little bit of a tight squeeze here with this quite thick bush. We'll just give him a little bit of space and we'll get a little bit closer and have a look, all right? So, folks, as we're making our way a little bit closer there, apologies for anybody that thinks that I'm questioning whether it's Tingana or not. It's just for myself, my own personal identification process that I would like to go through. I'm not questioning anybody's identification that this is Tingana, okay? Some impala up off the road and they haven't noticed him yet. They're still moving through the brush. That's a few male just over there. They don't seem to have picked him up just yet. They might. They're a little bit nervous, but they haven't started alarm calling. So they might have got a little bit of a swirling breeze towards them, making them a little bit cautious, but they haven't identified that there's a leopard here just yet. And he's frozen. He's obviously trying to work out whether it's worth an approach. We're obviously staying a little bit quiet because we do have other vehicles around, and we also don't want to disturb anything that's going to happen here. With the vehicle starting and everything, you can see that there's absolutely no reaction. And the impala don't react, the leopard doesn't react. So it's a lovely position to be in. Now I'm just being a little bit quiet as well for us to enjoy the sighting as it happens live right now. And he starts to walk up down the road again. Cenac asking the question, what do leopards do at night? Do they ever hunt? Cenac, leopards predominantly hunt in the dark. They've got heightened eyesight that enables them to be able to see better than the antelope and the prey species, and as well as it being very cool at night, or a lot cooler than during the day, it allows for them to be actually more nocturnal, meaning that they're actually more active at night and actually predominant during the evening and during the dark hours. So this is generally the time when leopards will start their activity. This is the time when they sort of start up and start moving around, marking their territory, and then possibly going on the hunt. So he'll probably mark his territory now, go for a drink, and then possibly do a bit of a hunt. While he's marking his territory, he might also, be an optimist. He'll obviously take anything on the go. If something presents itself, he'll chase it even now. But it does seem that he's not extremely hungry, because I think otherwise he would have had a go at these impala. So he might have eaten yesterday already, and maybe something quite big, in which case he's maybe not overly hungry. So maybe those impala were a little bit too much of an effort for him. Or maybe he's very thirsty after a very long hot day. Maybe he wants to go for a drink first before he comes back and attempts a hunt. But as I say, we're playing with variables here. We're just thinking what the possibilities are. But the ultimate answer to the question is his activity is fully during the night. So yes, he will hunt mostly during the dark hours. Now it seems he's gone off the road a little bit. And this is very often when we can lose sight of a leopard. I don't know if he went off the road or if... there he is. Okay, he's off on the right. Sorry, I've just been watching these vehicles, and as he went round the corner I lost sight of him. But there he still is, so he's within range, and we're going to keep moving with him. See what he gets up to. And there, start to mark a little bit again. Spraying. All part of that general ritual of territorial predators, especially cats. It's quite interesting, folks. If you've got domestic cats at home, and I'm sure you've seen them doing exactly what he did there. As he came past the branch, he lifted his head up and he wiped it sort of past his nose. Now, cats will do that to you at home as well, and what they're literally doing is marking you. And people think they're just being friendly, but in general, they're actually marking. So you might change your feeling towards your little kitty cat the next time he gives you a proper rub, hey? It's always lovely that a kitty cat does that, but his the reasoning behind it is a little bit different to what we often think. Lucas asking the question, does it happen that sometimes leopards are not that good at hunting and as a result die? Lucas, very good question, and the answer to that is yes. Obviously, cats and predators like this, they're trying to stay alive, so it's important for them to be able to hunt eventually. But some of them are not so good, and yes, eventually some of them would die. But generally, leopards are one of the adaptable cats on the planet. So, if we just listen, folks. He was doing the rasping call. All part of the marking of the territory. He's done a lot of scent marking. And there he was doing the call to mark a audio marking as well. And that will travel immediately to any leopards in the area. So answering that question, yeah, there he goes, he's continuing marking a little bit. You can have leopards that would eventually die, but it's very minimal with leopards per se. You would have, once they get hungry, you know, they would hunt small things such as scrub hares or spring hares if they're not that great hunters. I'm going to try and move forward a little bit that we get another view on him, and then we can carry on answering all sorts of questions. But it's too good an opportunity not to miss, so we do need to continue up. But yes, there would be the odd occasion when you would get a leopard that's really not good at hunting at all, and you know, once they get a little bit weak, they continue to be weaker and weaker and weaker, and eventually they might die. But it's very rare that can happen. So with 3 vehicles in here, that's generally the most we would have. TA asking the question, do leopards eat carrion? Now, what I think you mean by that is, do they eat meat that they would find that's been killed by other animals, or if it's died and it's been... You know, as I say, they not necessarily have to kill their own food. They're opportunists. So if there's meat around and they don't need to waste energy going to kill it themselves, they will definitely feed on it as well. And they might chase other predators off, as I think Tingana does with some of the females. Lions would chase leopard off, leopard would chase cheetah off. Leopards can also chase wild dogs off. I think this is where we might have to leave him, because he's now exiting the property. So let's just get the last view of him here, and as he exits the property, we can see as he leaves the last little Okay, folks, so we're going to watch Tingana disappear off into the distance. At the same time, we're losing signal, so that's the end of that. We're going to cross over to James, who is, I think, driving through the reserve.